Hawaii is not a state of mind, but a state of grace. Paul Theroux. That peaceful land, that beautiful land, that far-off home of solitude and soft idleness and repose, where life is one long slumberous Sabbath, the climate one long summer day, and the good that die experience no change, for they but fall asleep in one heaven and wake up in another. Mark Twain on Hawaii. Erupting out of the vast openness of the Pacific Ocean emerge these emerald jewels perched on a cobalt blue sea. Each bedecked with a necklace of colorful coral reefs, they stand isolated. Rich in incomparable beauty, the Hawaiian Islands seem to float with spring-like tropical weather on an endless sea of blue. The Polynesians, seeing the great beauty of these enchanted islands, called it Hawaii, which means heaven. In the Polynesian mythology, it is said that the old and infirm are granted with life after death in a sacred place called Hawaiki, translated as the old homeland.
Some of the most dramatic waterfalls in Hawaii are found on the Big Island's northeast coast in the Waipio Valley, with drops of over 1,000 feet. A symphony of falling water, the Hawaiians used these waterfalls to irrigate their crops. The Waipio Valley is a mile across and 6 miles long. At one time, thousands of people lived here. Many of their kings lie buried among these dramatic cliff walls that the Hawaiians held as sacred.
Twice the size of all the other Hawaiian islands combined, the Big Island spreads out over 4,038 square miles, and at 800,000 years old, it is also the youngest island in the chain. Captain Cook's life was taken by Hawaiian warriors at Kealakekua Bay. Around this time, Hawaii's Big Island became divided into separate chiefdoms. War between the different groups became commonplace. But in the late 1700s, King Kamehameha united the Big Island and went on to unify the remaining Hawaiian islands. Westerners reached the shores of Kailua Kona in the early 1800s, introducing cattle to the island, which made Parker Ranch one of the largest cattle ranches in the country. Interestingly, the Hawaiian Islands, different from any other parcels of land, are the most isolated. They lie in the middle of the North Pacific Ocean, around 2,400 miles from the nearest continental landmass. The state of Hawaii consists of 8 main islands, which basically are the tops of submerged volcanoes: Niihau, Kauai, Oahu, Maui, Molokai, Lanai, Kahulawe, and the Big Island of Hawaii. Additionally, 124 tiny pieces of uninhabited land, amounting to no more than 3 square miles, also are a part of Hawaii. Hawaii was made the 50th of the United States on August 20th, 1959. The Big Island of Hawaii has 11 climate zones, producing everything from lush green and flowered rainforests to arid deserts, black sand beaches to snow-capped mountaintops. Each year, whales swim from Alaska to spend their winter breeding in the warm waters of the Ao Channel.
The ancient Hawaiians viewed Pele, the goddess of fire, as a wrathful goddess. With fiery lava she forged her beloved islands. The goddess Pele survives to this day in the form of the Kilauea volcano, constantly erupting since 1983. Once thought to be part of the Mauna Loa volcano, later research found that Kilauea indeed needed no help from any of its neighboring 4 other volcanoes to produce magma. Since Kilauea's lava activity in 1983, she has added 500 acres to the Big Island. Mauna Kea, on the other hand, is considered the tallest mountain in the world when measured from the sea floor to its summit at 13,796 feet. Now considered dormant, Mauna Kea's last eruption was 4,500 years ago. Pele's other volcanoes are Hualalai, the third youngest of the island's volcanoes, Mauna Loa, or Long Mountain, which covers about half of the island and is the world's largest volcano with 33 eruptions since 1843, and the Kohala volcano that probably rose up from the sea floor 500,000 years ago. It is now considered to be extinct. Coined as being the youngest volcano in the Hawaiian chain, the Loihi Seamount is a still submerged volcano off the southeast coast of the Big Island, rising nearly 10,000 feet above the floor of the Pacific Ocean.
The average temperatures around Maui range from 75 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Acting like a giant regulator, the ocean around Maui keeps the island warm and balmy for the whole year. The coast sees warmer temperatures, while the higher elevations are 8 to 10 degrees cooler. The summit of the Haleakala crater can dip in the low 40s. Just below Pu'ukukui, the highest peak in Mauna Kahalawai, is Honokohau Valley. Here there is a waterfall that drops more than 1,000 feet, with approximately 390 inches of rain each year. Pu'ukukui is one of the wettest spots on Earth. Unimaginably, the Hawaiian Islands are the tops of the biggest mountain range in the world, their bases rising up from the ocean floor. The fable has it that the demigod Maui was in love with the way the misty gray rain floated into Hana on the island's northeastern tip. He loved the way the rainbows made the ocean bay blush with color. He so delighted in this that he named his daughter Noe Noe Uakea Ohana, which means the misty light rain of Hana. When the daughter had fallen in love with a young man that would certainly leave her and go back to the sea, she implored her father to use his demigod powers to keep them together forever. Maui transformed the young Hawaiian man into a lofty hill overlooking Hana Bay, and he changed his daughter into the misty rain so that Ka'uiki Hill is gently embraced by misty arms of his loved one, Noe Noe, when she softly floats toward the island from the ocean. After what must have been a fierce battle in the Lau Valley, King Kamehameha came to dominate Maui and pronounced Lahaina the new capital of the unified Hawaiian kingdom in 1970. For nearly 50 years, Lahaina was the center and ruling body for the Hawaiian kingdom.
There are many sacred sites on Maui. One of the most notable is the Haleakala volcano in Maui's upcountry. It is the largest dormant volcano in the world, and it is said to be the strongest natural power point in the United States. Students of higher consciousness travel here from around the world because they feel it accelerates personal growth. The Pi'ilanahali Heiau in East Maui is the largest sacrificial heiau in the Hawaiian Islands. The property owners near the site are very reluctant to allow visitors to approach the spot because of the dangerous spirits that live within it. This, the second largest of the Hawaiian Islands, is home to 2 dormant volcanoes. The Haleakala crater is the largest dormant volcano in the world. Looking perhaps more like the surface of the moon than a crater, this surreal environment is pockmarked with cinder cones on its barren floor.
Because of its extreme isolation, Hawaii is frequented by many of the more nomadic marine species found nowhere else in the world. From the Pacific Ocean's vast expanse, Hawaii is visited by the humpback whale, the pygmy pilot whale, manta ray, and the oceanic white-tip shark. There are roughly 566 species of shore fishes in Hawaii, swimming in these warm waters among the many varied and unique lava and coral formations. One of the most playful, curious, and interactive of these species is the spinner dolphin. The spinner dolphin is the smallest of Hawaii's common dolphins, usually 5 to 6 feet long. They weigh between 130 and 200 pounds. They are often seen spinning as they leap high from the water surface. Translating as rippling or overflowing water, the summit of Mount Waialeale is among some of the very wettest spots in the world, with an average rainfall of 485 inches per year. Because Kauai is an island of many climates and contrasts, Poipu, in the southernmost part of the island, has an average rainfall of 35 inches per year. Kauai's year-round average temperatures hover between 70 and 81 degrees Fahrenheit, making it one of the most comfortable and moderate climates anywhere. It is believed that this ruggedly spectacular coastline was the first part of Kauai to have been settled by Hawaii's first native visitors. Not a particularly likely candidate for comfortable living, these inhospitable cliffs provided those early settlers with all the essentials they needed. Fresh water from the rain-fed mountain streams, native vegetation and fertile ground in the valleys, and immediate access to fishing in Hawaii's waters, abundant with sea life. Kauai, from a geological standpoint, is the most mature of the main Hawaiian islands, including beautifully lush green valleys and coastlines jeweled with coral reefs. Waimea Canyon is a breathtaking valley at 2,500 feet deep, surrounded by verdant, towering peaks. Taro was part of the staple diet of the early native population. The abundant rainfall and fertile soil of Kauai was the perfect environment for the cultivation of taro. Even today, the taro plantations are everywhere across Kauai, contributing to the island's lush green fields of heart-shaped leaves.
Kauai. Formed 5 million years ago, there is virtually no indication of any human contact with Hawaii before 100 AD. Even ocean-voyaging Polynesians were not established until sometime around 400 to 600 AD. That would make Hawaii one of the last places on Earth to be discovered and inhabited by humans. Even modern contact wasn't made until just over 200 years ago, when Captain Cook first happened on Kauai's Waimea Bay on January 19, 1778. After the Earl of Sandwich, he named this archipelago the Sandwich Isles, and as such, Hawaii was introduced to the world. Many cultures have folklore regarding magical little people. The Irish have their leprechauns, and the Hawaiians have the menehune. A relentless, mischievous little person of nature, the menehune were said to haunt the deep forests or mountains of the Pu'ukapele, or Hills of Pele. The menehune are as old as the very beginnings of Polynesian history itself. When the Polynesians first set foot on the Hawaiian Islands, they found fish ponds, dams, and even heiaus, or temples. And, presumably, this diminutive 2-foot-high, cave-dwelling and elusive little people put them there. They can be malicious one day and completely harmless the next. The old Hawaiians would call upon the menehune to help them build and cook. The menehune were strong, capable, and would perform most of their services at night while the Hawaiians slept. The younger menehunes were often discovered dancing and singing, and they employed magic arrows that were used to pierce the heart of an angry Hawaiian, making them feel love instead.
Oh, how my spirit languishes to step ashore in the sandwishes. Robert Louis Stevenson. Of the 111 miles of Kauai's coastline, nearly one-half of it is lined with paradise-like beaches. These beaches are made from the continually eroding coral and algae by ocean waves. Other parts of Kauai's coast have some of the most spectacular scenery, including the famed Napali Coast. These dramatic cliffs of the Nepali coast jut 1,000 feet up from the sea, formed when the ocean's waves carved the lava rock quicker than the island's interior streams were able to carve out the valley floor. Movies such as South Pacific and The Thornbirds use these great steep cliffs as backgrounds. Adding to the beauty, yet again, are the many sea caves, secluded beaches, and high waterfalls. "20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover."
The flowers, more so than on any of the other islands, are many. Because of Kauai's measurably greater rainfall, flowers grace the landscape in a blushing array of rainbow colors that are very nearly difficult to look at because of their dazzling color.
In what other land, save this one, is the commonest form of greeting not good day nor how do you do, but love? That greeting is aloha. Love. I love you. My love to you. It is a positive affirmation of the warmth of one's own heart giving. Jack London. About Hawaii, Mark Twain has said that Hawaii is the loveliest fleet of islands that lies anchored in any ocean. On a certain bright morning, the islands hove in sight, lying low on the lonely sea, and everybody climbed to the upper deck to look. After 2,000 miles of watery solitude, the vision was a welcome one. As we approached, the imposing promontory of Diamond Head rose up out of the ocean, its rugged front softened by the hazy distance, and presently the details of the land began to make themselves manifest. First, the line of the beach, then the plumed coconut trees of the tropics, then cabins of the natives. Verily, with its rank luxuriance of vines and blossoms, its groves of forest trees, its shady nooks and grassy lawns, its crystal brook and its wild and beautiful mountain scenery, with that charming far-off glimpse of the sea, Kalihi is the valley of enchantment, come again.
The Hawaiian Islands, though geologically young, hold within them the seeming wisdom of Atlantis. Probably nowhere else on Earth does nature proclaim herself more elegantly in a host of different colors, fragrances, and climates, all in such a small place on this planet. Hawaii makes a believer out of even the most skeptical of us. she softly seduces with her trade winds and arrests the senses with the heady perfumes of nature. As she was to the first seafaring nomads that discovered her, Hawaii will always be what the word Hawaii means: heaven.
What I have always longed for was the privilege of living forever away up on one of those mountains in the Sandwich Islands, overlooking the sea. No alien land in all the world has any deep, strong charm for me but that one. No other land could so longingly and so beseechingly haunt me, sleeping and waking, through half a lifetime, as that one has done. Other things leave me, but it abides. Other things change, but it remains the same.